Welcome, my name is Yves Doucet. Today's topic is on Drishti, or focus. Focus is very important in life. We think we can multitask, but we actually can't. Yes, you can walk and chew gum at the same time, but you're not only conscious of one thing. You're actually conscious of either walking or chewing gum. And the number one thing that I do when I coach CEOs or individuals or even teams, when I coach teams, is to practice focus, doing one thing, one question, one topic, one activity, one thing. And the reason it's so important is that when you actually practice focus on one thing, it helps you actually kind of understand that one thing better. And you can draw a conclusion or draw an experience from it. There's so many great examples of that in real life that you can see that when you're focusing on one thing, if you're cooking, you're doing one thing, you'll discover something, you'll taste something differently. When you're actually tasting your food, right, you're actually focusing on the taste of the food instead of just filling your belly. Like typically what we do with food is like we eat, and I do this too, I eat food in front of the TV. I'm doing two things very badly. I'm not focusing on food, and I'm not focusing on being present. I'm watching TV and not being present with the people in front of me and the food. So I'm doing too many things. And that's why it's like so important to be conscious of one thing, one focus. And how does that work in the dieting world or in the world that you want to be eating better food and eating better? To be conscious of that one thing, that taste, that smell, that the way that it feels. And all of a sudden you'll become more conscious that you're full and you'll stop like that. So Drishti is very, very important in yoga. It's very important in life. It's very important in achieving certain things in your life to focus on one thing. Yeah, and the way we do this, we're going to stay uncomfortable for a bit in the focus. So the way we practice this in yoga is to take your gaze, right, as an example, and you take a spot in front of you, something that you can focus on, zoom into it, and you're looking at it with kind of soft eyes, like an observer, not kind of a focus, like deep focus, but more of like an observer with softness, with like an appreciation for what's going on, just totally disconnected from that spot, but yet focusing on that spot, that one thing. And you become, in that non-judgmental way, you become a discovery for that one thing. So in yoga, we would say, take your drishti out to a spot that doesn't move. So we're going to practice that today. So open your eyes slightly, but with soft eyes. Take a spot somewhere in front of you that doesn't move. One spot. Bring your spine erect, and we're going to focus on that one spot, practicing Ujjayi, which we've learned about in the previous videos, and not forgetting to pull your belly into the spine as you exhale, breathing in through the nose, that one spot. Ujjayi and Drishti. Focusing, shoulders back. Focusing on that one spot. Not letting go of it. And you might find that your thinking brain is going somewhere, bringing it back to that one spot, zooming into that one spot. Ujjayi and Drishti. One spot that doesn't move. Staying a little uncomfortable here, a little longer. And it's difficult, right? Your eyes want to go away, your mind wants to go away, but we're staying in this one spot, being conscious that we're focusing, in control of this focus. And Drishti, one spot, still there. Very conscious of that spot. Very good. And relax, yeah. And you might notice that in that one spot, everything else becomes blurry around it, but you're very aware that there's other objects in your viewing. And that's focusing. That's being conscious that you are in control of what you're seeing, the point of view, the perception. And as you build this into your way of life, like you're conscious of the way you're eating the food. And it really doesn't matter if you're let's say you've decided that you want to eat something that you shouldn't eat. You're still bringing consciousness to eating that food. You're bringing consciousness to how it tastes and how it makes you feel. You're bringing consciousness to the food that's inside your mouth. Yeah? And when you do that, you'll become more focused on who you are as an individual and the nourishment or the lack thereof of that food and how it makes you feel. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me.